showing value using complementary colors. Now we are going to learn how to draw a realistic mouth and then apply value so that it starts to take form and look three-dimensional as well. So to begin, we take our paper, we're going to divide it in half very lightly, vertically, divide it in half very lightly, horizontally, so that we know where to start lining things up. Then we're going to use our circle. We're going to take a lid that is about 3 to 3.5 inch circle, and we're going to trace it 3 times. The first time I'm going to divide it in half with that line and have it touching my vertical line. I'm going to move it over so that it is touching the other one, have it divided in half with my vertical line, or I'm sorry, with my horizontal line. So I've got the 2 side by side. My third one is going to be divided in half by my vertical line, and it's going to come about a ½ inch to an inch above my horizontal line. Like so. Now that I've got my 3 lines in place, I'm ready to start drawing the shapes and the curves for the upper and the lower lip. We often think of the mouth as one object, but when we draw it, we need to think of it as 2 pieces. There's an upper lip and a lower lip. In here, I'm going to get that curve, or that dip or divot that we have in our upper lip. I'm going to follow the top of this circle, and then it's going to flare out to the corner of my paper. Stand on this side, curve it, follow the shape of the circle, and then I'm going to flare it to the corner of my paper. So here is the top of my upper lip. Using these 3, I'm going to create the curve of my bottom lip. The mistake I often see is following this shape and then the bottom lip looks really odd. We are going to start at the corner. It's going to touch my circle. It's going to bypass this opening, and it's going to curve right here along that bottom edge of that circle. Bypass this opening, touch the edge of my circle, and come on up to this corner here. Final step is getting where the upper and lower lip meet. So using where the circle is touching the horizontal line, I'm going to do a very soft, very subtle curve, connecting from corner to corner. From this edge to this edge, I'm going to do the same thing, a very soft, very subtle curve. Also working with balance in this project, because whatever I'm doing on the left, I'm repeating, I'm doing again on the right. Now, with all of these things drawn and in place, my final step is erasing. I no longer need the circles, I no longer need the vertical or horizontal lines. 2 separate pieces, your upper lip, your lower lip. When you are looking at your mouth, when you are looking at your neighbor's mouth, maybe you look at your photos on your iPads, you should notice that here where the 2 meet is our darkest point on our lip. Remember, with oil pastels, we want to try to avoid using black, because black will often smudge and muddy and make it quite odd. We also want to look at the shape of the lip. Both are round. So I'm going to come in here along the edge, and I'm going to start with my purple, and I'm kind of creating these curved lines to get the illusion in here that my mouth is round. Also want to round the bottom lip. I know that there's a bright highlight that occurs in here, so I'm going to work with my white, and I'm going to create that bright spot. still creating those rounded kind of lines in there. Then I'm going to continue like I had in here with my purple, rounding away from that line. And then my next color that I want to use is blue. So far I'm not working with anything dealing with a complementary color. If I wanted to work with complementary colors, rather than purple in here, I should have placed orange to darken my blue. But I'm going to start changing up my colors and adding a variety within my mouth. I'm going to get a little bit of my upper lip. I'm also going to get a little bit on the bottom edge of my lower lip because we tend to curve around in our mouth. Also come in and I can start to blend and smudge with my fingers so that I don't have white appearing through the coloring. I think it gives it a little bit more of a polished, finished look, so I like to do the smudging. It helps just to blend. I'm not rubbing to the point where I'm rubbing the pastels off of the paper. I'm just gently blending them. Still able to see those curved lines that I drew. And then I feel in here, that I'm starting to lose that seam, so I might come back in with my purple and start to fill in that space, darkening out that separation, the upper and the lower lip. Not creating an outline though, I'm not drawing the line. I'm creating a line with these curves. Them after I've applied them. And then you start to get that separation. To get rid of any excess oil. Now I've got my background. I'm not complete. I don't want to leave the rest of my space white. So again, I could continue with this theme of cool colors, or I could make my mouth pop by adding warm colors. I like to use the warm colors and create so that my mouth starts to pop. Thinking of this as being an entire face now rather than a mouth, I know a lot of people have a curve below their mouth to create their chin, so I like to create that. I know that people have a little bit of a shadow in here where the dip is from under their mouth, so I like to also come and create that. Imagining that my nose is somewhere up here, I'm going to get that connection piece. Then I can come in and I can start to add my darker and lighters and create value happening all around. Done. I can always come in, clean up edges, alter things, add more color, add more depth if I feel that it's needed. As you're working on yours, take liberty in your color choices, experiment. If you need to restart, go ahead and restart. But make sure you are focusing on the upper lip and the lower lip as two separate pieces that are creating a full mouth. Have fun!